What's up, y'all? So, I'm here 1 week after the wedding. I'm here to talk about my wedding dress. This video is all about how I made it. Same thing with my other video. This is not a tutorial by any means. It's just kind of the steps of how I did things. So, if anybody was really wondering, this is how I did it. It's going to be really long, really boring. So, yeah, watch it if you want to know what I did. Otherwise, I'm going to try to stick some reveal shots in the end, and I'll put the timestamp for that if you guys are interested in just seeing that. So I know a lot of people want to know how long the dress took me to make. So I started off with a mock-up. So I started with making the dress in muslin. So I did the same thing I did with my engagement photo shoot dress. So if you guys haven't seen that, you can go watch that. The first portion of that video is where I draped the pattern myself. So I didn't actually use a pattern. I kind of made one from scratch. And the mock-up, I think, took me 24 to 36 hours in total. Once I started on the dress, it did take a while. So I had to take apart the entire mock-up, cut all that in the real fabric, sew it together. Obviously, all the sequins, all the beading, all the lace I had to put on there. My mom helped a bunch. She said all the beading that was around basically the neckline and around the back, the top border of the dress, and she did the sequins from basically the skirt up. I did most of the sequins skirt down. So we painstakingly sewed on every single bead and every single sequin. In total, probably took roughly 300 hours total. That's not including the time that my mom spent on the dress too. I have no idea how much time she spent on that. So that's something I'll have to ask her. But it was totally worth it because y'all know me. I like to DIY pretty much everything. In addition, I'm a cheap asshole. So yeah, did not cost me nearly as much money to make. I did go dress shopping with my mom and with my mother-in-law. I did love some dresses. There's one in particular that I did love. You guys can see, same mermaid silhouette, lots of sequins. I wasn't a big fan of silver beading at all. I really wanted it to be white or off-white, like a true white color, rather than having silver in it. Just wasn't what I really liked. But yeah, so I tried on a couple of dresses. I liked some of them, but then, you know, I heard the price tag. So I think the dress I liked was about $2,300. I did initially go into all of the appointments saying that my budget was around $8,000 because I really just wanted to try on any dress that I could. I wanted to try on anything that I was interested in, to see the fabrics, to see where the seam lines were, how many layers the dress had, what kind of fabric, what color, how it felt. Basically just data gathering to see what I wanted in my actual dress. But yeah, so when I found out that most of the dresses I liked were around the $2,300 range, and that's before tax, before shipping, before alterations, before accessories, I was like, oh, I'm looking at least $3,000 for this dress I'm gonna wear for a few hours. Because I was planning on changing into a traditional Vietnamese outfit and to have a reception dress so that I could dance in it. I think in total was almost $700. I want to say it was more like $650, but then I added on a couple other accessories like my veil, my headpiece, the lights that I ended up putting in the dress. So that wasn't just the fabric itself. Yeah, so that was about, we'll say $700 at most. And then the traditional Vietnamese outfit that I got, my mom got the fabric in Vietnam. I think she said it was about $80 US. And then to have the actual thing made was about $100-ish. So really, my 3 outfits with all the accessories included cost less than $1,000. So that was another big reason why I decided to do it. But I think those were the real big questions was, you know, how long it took, how much did it cost? So it definitely saved me a lot of money. It did not save me a whole lot of time, but I did start this last summer. I think I started the actual dress sometime in the winter, because I was really burnt out from making the mock-up. Fun fact, actually, my final dress was not the dress that I actually designed. I changed it a little bit. So in some of the photos that you see as I'm working on the dress, it does change a little bit. Originally, my neckline was supposed to be an illusion neckline. I love the idea of having that nude tulle that you know, it didn't seem like you were wearing anything at all, with the lace kind of crawling up, you know, the chest and the shoulders and whatnot. I thought it was so pretty, and that was my original design, because I didn't really want strapless, because all y'all ladies with small boobies know, maybe you don't know, but when my hands go up, it's not that I'm worried that my boobs are going to pop out, it's more like my nipples will show. So straps were the way to go. Originally it was supposed to be a illusion neckline, but as I was working and I was trying to figure out, if you guys haven't noticed already in my previous videos, my dress form is made of duct tape, because again, I'm a cheap asshole and I don't want to buy a dress form that I'm going to have to make alterations to anyway, and it costs a lot of money. So my father-in-law helped me build that like a while ago. But with the duct tape being kind of sharp and really thick, the fine tulle sitting on top of it often ripped and it would ripple. So when I was sewing it down, it would bunch up and it wasn't smooth and it didn't look seamless. And so I decided to scrap the whole idea and put in spaghetti straps instead. The other thing I changed was, originally the back of the dress was a straight across cut, because I figured it was going to give me some more support and it was going to be easier to make with an illusion neckline. But again, that didn't work out. And then when I did add the straps, I just felt like it just looked so covered up. It didn't look elegant at all. So what I did was I ended up just kind of folding, like unzipping the dress a little bit and then folding the sides of the dress in to make a nice V, and I kind of just tacked it down so I didn't have to worry about it. Other than that, everything else stayed exactly the same. There are some things that I would change. So, you know, the hemline I did incorrectly. So when I added one, I bought the wrong kind of horsehair. I bought soft horsehair instead of like thicker or coarser horsehair. And I did the hem completely wrong because I cut too much of the dress at the bottom off, so that I wasn't able to kind of fold up the horsehair and like finish it correctly. So if you were to look really close on my wedding dress, you can see that the edges are pretty jagged, but it honestly kind of looks like it's the design of the lace anyway. Other than that, I really don't think I'd change too much. I loved the way it came out. I thought it fit beautifully. I thought it looked beautiful. And if you didn't know, I also did make my veil, which I did end up measuring, and it was 14 feet long. So that was fun. But that's pretty much a rundown in the intro to this video. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to leave me a comment or reach out or contact me, whatever, and I can answer your questions. Otherwise, this is a really, really fun experience. I wouldn't change it for the world. I thought it was 1000% worth it, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Enjoy the video.
So we have the bodice with the start of the skirt. I like it. We're probably gonna have to add some straps. I had to nix the illusion neckline because I just couldn't figure out, it was too complicated. So we're probably gonna add some spaghetti straps or something, maybe, though it stays up just fine, but we'll see. So next step is to put the skirt together and then put it on the dress itself.